The City of Cape Town's decision to drastically scale back its dial ride service has been met with shock and disappointment from disability rights groups. From September the 8th, the service will only be available for wheelchair users and those with severe walking impairments. This means people with visual or cognitive disabilities, the elderly and organisations that rely on the service will be cut off. Joining us now via Zoom is Luvuyo Zondani, Chairman of the Western Cape Black Disability Forum. Luvuyo, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Now, from the perspective of your forum, what does the dial ride service represent for its users? Is it just a taxi service or is it something more?
Thanks, Hugo, for the question, and good afternoon to the listeners. Dial ride represents everything, Hugo. It actually put into practice the word accessibility, which is our right based on the Constitution. With dial ride, you are able to access the work opportunities. With dial ride, you're able to access normal meetings and shopping. You're able to be part of the entire daily lives of everybody else with normal bodies. So dial ride just adds, completes the whole the feeling of being human being. Taking dial ride from you is dehumanizing us. And actually, it's like cutting off your legs, cutting off your head, and cutting off your arms. It's really taking our rights away. It's very brutal, actually, take the service of dial ride away from us.
Luvuyo, you paint a picture of dial ride being an integral part of the lives of many people living with various disabilities. Let's talk about the numbers of people that are currently benefiting or were benefiting from dial ride.
Look, you will never get a proper answer, but all we know is the Western Cape, the city of Cape Town, is sitting at 5% of the population with prevalence of disability. That should give an indication, okay, already. Because whenever you will speak to an official, they will tell you based on how they've budgeted, they will tell there will be 10,000 people based on our own experiences, where we are having people who are unable to leave their houses because of not availability of access to a dial ride. Dial ride does not go to townships. They don't. They have stopped that process, that service at all. So there are so many. You can just work based on 5%. You're talking about people on wheelchairs. You're talking about people who are blind. You're talking about the deaf community. It's all of that. And the dial ride, and now the city is coming back to say, we are only going to concentrate on for those who are moving on wheelchairs from home to work. That's all we're going to do. For we are saying, no. That is not what it's a dignity and the right for us to have a mobility. You know, this is not a favor. So they are talking about the issues of the cost element, and we're not interested in that. All we're interested is that we should enjoy the life just like everybody else, Hugo, who is not disabled like most of us are. Actually, they are making us more disabled. What makes us disabled is taking accessibility away from us. When they take accessibility away from us, that particular right, then they are making us disabled. Because with dial ride, you are actually eliminating disability. Because disability is constructed, it's socially constructed. So if it's a social construct, that's exactly what they are doing. They are creating disability to be live on their faces, and people should just simply stay where they are and die where they are because they are a welfare issue.
Now, Luvuyo, you were part of that meeting with MACO member Rob Quintus this week. Why were disability groups left feeling so disappointed and let down by the outcome?
Look, for starters, we had very clear 6 demands in our memorandum, which I won't go through all of them, but they are all talking about transparency. The problem we were having is that there was never any self-representation of persons with disabilities when this decision was taken. And instead, what has happened from the beginning of August, dial ride users started to receive intimidating and flimsy letters with excuses why some of them will not be able to qualify to use dial ride services. And they actually, intimidated people in their own little homes. And people started to talk about this. That's how we mobilize and advocacies for more, to make sure people stand up together. And actually, we all came together, led by the Disability Network in the Western Cape. And then we came with other forums to say, no, this has to come to a stop. This is actually a brutal attack on our rights. And that actually was a clear indication to say that we will not take anything that takes our rights, because disability rights are human rights. So we did not take it kindly at all. And actually, we went as far as establishing that committee, which was already in existence, but was reinforced immediately after the strike, the protest, to say Where to from here? Because the city is very strong to say that we're not moving. There's nothing we can do. Decision has been taken. We said, no, that is not going to be happening. We are saying no to that, or else we'll continue protesting on your doorsteps. The good thing is that the Human Rights Commission has taken this matter up as well, and we're happy with that. And also, with the city, we have established a committee to meet now on bi-monthly basis to ensure that we get a proper solution on this particular thing. So we have all of those demands. We're even further demanding that there's a new IDP that each and every municipality must have. And you look at the IDP of the city of Cape Town, there's nothing speaking about disability. And if it's not in the IDP, if it's not in the menu, so we will not be able to be budgeted for. That's the problem. So they need to bring all of those things back into track and try and mainstream the issues of disability within the programs and services of the city. So those were the demands we're putting forward to the city of Cape Town.
So let's rewind and go back to this meeting that you had recently. Did you raise the issue of consultation? Because it's one of the things that you've been talking about, that there was limited to no consultation to any disability groups.
Oh yes, of course, indeed. That was actually on it was consultation in practice, because that was the first meeting a day after the protest. That became more like a formal first response to one of our demands. We need a consultation, and then instead of working on how we're going to turn the whole thing around, we're given all the flimsy excuses why we had to cut down, and that we did not take at all. And then the further program, as I was saying to you,
what was some of the, sorry, Luvuyo, what was some
of
those excuses that were given? I mean, what we understand is they're working with a 40 million rand budget, but only have 28 million rand to spend.
Yeah, that's nonsensical. Because you know what? There's a lot of money in the city of Cape Town. It's got a billion and billion rands of budget. You're talking about a big minority in a way, because people with disabilities are a minority, but it's a huge minority. And we just need a portion of that budget. All we are saying that the city should follow the proper processes. They know how to apply for funding. They never followed the proper processes. Instead, they politicized the whole thing. They took the whole thing and threw it to the national government. It does not need the national government. It needs them to follow the processes of the province, right to the social development in the province. Explain the reason why. Explain to the mobility why this thing has to happen. This thing has been happening for 30 years, long before the seat of Cape Town was run by the DA-led government. It was there. Now, all of a sudden, they're politicizing it and taking it and throwing it away regardless. And also only because the majority, truth be told, the majority of people who are actually persons with disabilities are black. When we say black, we mean colored, we mean Indian, we mean Africans. They are black, 90% of them. So it means nothing to them that they can just all of a sudden wake up and just turn around the budget like that. That's one of the reasons.
All right, final thoughts before we let you go.
Sure.
In the event that there is no cooperation from the city of Cape Town, how do you intend to convince them to change their minds?
Well, of course, it's going to be a luta continua. That's number one. Number two is we had put some quite tangible advices on the table to say, number one, in January, there's an adjustment budget for each and every municipality. After 6 months, they go to an adjustment budget. As we speak now, you will have a lot of directorates and departments that are not spending their money. So we expect those things to be rectified the latest by January, to have our budget reinstated, and we don't cut any of the daily rights services anymore again. Because our people at the moment are frustrated, irritated, and are dying slowly in their houses. They won't be able now to go and access job opportunities. On top of that, job opportunities are always low for persons with disabilities. This one is making it worse. They won't even be able to access any sport activities. They won't even be able to go to school. Those who are young people, they won't be able to do a lot of things just to look after their daily livelihoods. Won't be happening. So yeah, that's how far I can say for now.
The implications far and wide-reaching. Luvuyo Zondani, chairman of the Western Cape Black Disability Forum, speaking to us this afternoon as the city of Cape Town has decided to drastically scale back as a ride service, and saying that they will continue to protest until change is made.